A penny for your thoughts. Does this filter make me look silly? Of course it does. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1520 of What You Up To Now, documenting and sharing my business journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And since the pandemic, a little bit of back and forth, and probably for the rest of my life back and forth, because I like having my fingers in the real world, out in the real world. I think part of COVID and my motivation is we need to be more independent here in America. And so I want to make sure that all my needs and my family's needs are met. And part of that is being involved in different businesses to ensure that that is done here, where we need the things that we need to live the life we want to live, if that makes any sense. So filters today. Now with this Ukraine and Russian thing going on, all of the Russian filters have been canceled and all the Russian accounts have been canceled by Facebook. And I record my videos live on Facebook because it's simple, it's easy, it's free, it's fast, it's efficient. I can do it on my phone. I can do it all by my big self. And normally there's some different fun filters that you can use. This one's kind of fun, actually. I would make a cute little chihuahua. It makes my eye makeup look fantastic, which isn't how it looks without the filter today and most days. So all those filters have disappeared. And my favorite one used to be by a woman named Sasha, who I'm assuming, since she's disappeared, is either Russian or Ukrainian, and we don't have access to those anymore. But I did notice that the filters changed dramatically with that change by Facebook. I'm not judging that change. It's up to them. It's their business. They can do what they want. And I will just find some other way to do what I'm going to do too. And if that means I don't use Facebook, then I will find another alternative. I already got alternatives on my back burner that I've used and practiced on in case I decide to not use mainstream social media anymore. But I like mainstream social media. I don't do much on it except create my content and share here. But I think it's a way to keep a pulse on what's going on in the world and what people are thinking. At least people that participate in social media, what are they thinking? And that's important, that we know what's going on as we're building and growing and supersizing our businesses and making a difference in the world. I say my purpose is to make a positive difference in the world. And I wish everybody thought that and felt that way, but I think a lot of people are just doing whatever they can do to make a living. They're scraping by, and they'll do anything and say anything to get you to do business with them. And I will continue to push against that because it drives me crazy. Why? Because like everybody else, I have naively fallen for some shysters in my life, and I've learned from those instances. And I want to make sure that if I can help other people not fall for things or make mistakes or go down roads that aren't right for them, I want to be a part of that solution for everybody, including myself, right? I want to continually learn and grow and get better at discerning what is right for me and what is not right for me. And we all need to be doing that as well. So our idiom, our expression for supersize your business today was a penny for your thoughts. And I know we've covered this one before. As I pick the idiom for the day, I just do it. And some of them I know that we've talked about in the past, over past topics and past things. And I don't think I've ever gone back until after I did the day's video to look at the previous video. So I might today sometime, if I get a few minutes, do a search through my past content and see if I can find the video for the last time I did a penny for your thoughts and see what I talked about in that. I like to think that as I'm doing these idioms and as I'm growing and changing and evolving, my thoughts and comments on a particular idiom will be different than they were in the past. So I'm going to commit right now. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to go find, when did I do a penny for thoughts before, and what did I say about it? Today I talked about decision making, and nature abhors a vacuum, as do humans, and so we tend to fill up space with conversation. So we don't really have to say, hey, what are you thinking? Or I'll give you a penny for your thoughts very often these days. And a penny, come on, a penny isn't very much. Now, I didn't talk about, but originally this was a British saying. Before Britain went to the decimal system, they had pennies. And so it was originally a penny for your thought was a British saying, and they still say it often in Great Britain, according to the internet. Not sure, haven't been there. But it wasn't until a penny for your thought and then give me your 2 cents worth became a saying after pennies were minted in the United States. So that's a much newer saying, like by a couple hundred years. That one didn't come around until the 1700s. when we went from 1 cent to 2 cents. Now I'm thinking that nowadays it's probably a Sacagawea. Is this a, I did, no, I didn't. This is a Abraham Lincoln gold dollar, but it's probably a gold dollar for your thoughts would be a better saying with inflation, especially the inflation of recent months here in the U.S. It might be better to offer someone a, and you can't say Sacagawea anymore because it took people a long time to say Sacagawea, which is probably why presidents are now appearing on the gold dollars. I didn't realize that till today when I was going through the bank to find a penny. Interesting how COVID has impacted the building of our jars, our penny jars or our piggy banks. My piggy bank, I normally fill this several times a year, and this is like since COVID started, just because we're not out and about and collecting change anymore. So interesting observation. So that was our idiom for today for Supersize Your Business. For our annual challenge, the BU 365-day challenge, to do one thing every day that improves us in some way, shape, or form, we are winding up the section on mental well-being. And today we talked about how does our mental well-being, that area and aspect of our life, interact with the other life framework aspects of our life? How does it impact with our physical, our mental with mental, our emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence? How does it interact with those? And we're exploring today just one of those. We're going to pick one and just get curious about, well, what do my thoughts in my physical health and my physical well-being have to do with what shows up in my life? And we're just exploring more deeply one area of our results and saying, if I think my tummy is too big, and I think it all the time, like every day, will my tummy be too big? My results say yes. So maybe I should have different thoughts about myself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, etc. And thoughts become things. I have seen way too many examples in my life where what I'm thinking shows up in my life. It's not instantaneous, but it shows up eventually. And I know that if the results I'm getting aren't exactly what I want, I need to stop and really examine the thoughts and the beliefs I'm holding on that topic. If my results aren't exactly what I want, I know that my thoughts need to be the first thing that I change. And we can change our thoughts through affirmations, through repetition, through creating power vision movies like we talked about yesterday, and other visualization and imagination and hypnosis techniques. We can change what we're focusing on and what we're thinking about, and that will automatically over time change our results. So super powerful area of impacting our own lives and also impacting the lives of others, by the way. I mean, we see examples of this all the time. We see examples of children that have been treated poorly and bullied and beat down, and how that impacts them. And we see examples of children that have been nurtured and loved and how that impacts them. And again, each case is different, but we very clearly see the impact on the results that those two different children get in school, in life, in opportunities, in beliefs, in self-confidence, etc. So that's a little bit of what I'm working on today. Almost done with the cold. Still feeling a little cloggy in the head, a little coffee, little clogged throat, but much better than last week, that's for sure. So catching up on things, working on another new project. Always a project, right? There's always something going on in the background. And we'll share when I can. We'll share when it's the right time to share that project. Just like every other project. Some projects have confidentiality agreements and we don't talk about them ever. I have signed confidentiality agreements where I can't talk about anything for the rest of my life. I know, crazy, but we can't talk about it for the rest of our life. So we don't. And you know, I have opinions and thoughts about that. I'm like, boy, if I can't talk about something for the rest of my life, depending on how long I live, that might be a little bit of an overkill or overstatement for a confidentiality agreement. All right. If I can help you in any way, please ask any questions, any comments, stuck on anything, offline or online business related. I might not know the exact answer, but I guarantee we can get you to the next thing that you need to do in 5 minutes or less. That's my new thing. It's like, hey, I have yet to find a situation where in 5 minutes or less, we can't get anybody moving on the next thing that they can do. Now, doesn't mean they'll do it. Unfortunately, I've had those conversations and the person just vehemently refuses to take any action whatsoever. And that's always our right. That's always our choice, right? We always get to decide but once we know that we have options, it makes it harder for us to convince ourselves that we're stuck, right? Once we know that we do know that we don't not know, so often we tell ourselves, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do next. I don't know what I want to do. Da, 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 da. And that allows us the luxury of just staying stuck, sitting still. I was thinking about excuses this morning and reasons. We give reasons, but really reasons are just excuses, right? And we give them to other people to get them off our backs or to just have them leave us alone. We also give them to ourselves so that we don't have to hold ourselves accountable to doing more and creating more and being more than we are right now. When really, we all want to expand and grow and be more than we already are. All right, say goodbye to the puppy dog masks. Not sure we'll ever see this again, but it is kind of cute. Have an awesome day. I'm here if you need any help. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow.